Hi. Hi there. Glad you're here. Glad you're hanging out. You cutie pie, schmookums, sweet potato. Hi. Thanks for being here. This is a general message, so take what resonates and leave the rest. As you should always, use your own discernment and intuition. The first song that I got on shuffle here is If It Makes You Happy by Sheryl Crow. I've been a long way from here, put on a poncho and played for mosquitoes, and drank till I was thirsty again. We went searching through the thrift store jungles, found Geronimo's rifle, Maryland's shampoo, and Benny Goodman's corset and pen. Well, I say I made this up. Well, okay, I made this up. I promise you I'd never give up. If it makes you happy, it can't be that bad. If it makes you happy, then why the hell are you so sad? You get down, real low down. You listen to Coltrane, derail your own train. Well, who hasn't been there before? I come around the hard way, bring you comics in bed, scrape the mold off the bread, and serve you French toast again. Well, okay, I still get stoned. I'm not the kind of girl you take home. If it makes you happy, it can't be that bad. If it makes you happy, then why the hell are you so sad? So what I'm getting here, the initial download I got from this song here is, say you're pursuing your dreams, right? You're pursuing this big dream, this a big goal of yours. You have been for a while. It's in the midst, or you're about to, and this is just, a message of what to look forward to, or like what to look for. Check yourself, if you will. Because it says, I've been a long way from here. I put on a poncho and played for mosquitoes and drank till I was thirsty again. I'm getting that, like, if you're a musician and you expected a big crowd and there was nobody that showed up, so you just played for mosquitoes instead of a crowd of people. What I'm getting here is it's like asking you not to give up. And when you're in that, like it said, you get down real low down. You listen to Coltrane, derail your own train. Well, who hasn't been there before? I come around the hard way, bring you comics in bed, scrape the mold off the bread, and serve you French toast again. Well, okay, I still get stoned. I'm not the kind of girl you take home. So, like, my throat is so jacked up from my previous reading I did before this, so I apologize. I don't know what's going on. I've before I came on to do any of my messages today, I like really focused and drove the message to my guides. It's like, we need to expose the truth to like an extreme extent. So that might be why I'm getting the throat stuff, because the powers that were, they don't like the truth. So I think that's why that's happening. So just, if that might be a good message for this one too, is like, if you hit these little road bumps, just keep going. Yeah, your throat's jacked up and you might be singing like shit or whatever. Just keep pushing. Don't stop. You can be real down low. You can derail your own train, but who hasn't been there before? And you come around the hard way. Like, you might have to self-sabotage a little bit to get through, to pull yourself out of it. What I'm getting is, like, while you're pursuing these dreams, is check that you're not lying to yourself, because we have the Ace of Swords here. And that's telling me, like, it's like lying to yourself, like not telling the truth of, like, oh, well, since I'm hitting this roadblock or this bump in the road, this hard thing, and you start spiraling, and then you get into this low down, depressed energy, and then you start derailing your own train. You fall off your path. You quit pursuing, like, say you were painting every day and something happened to where somebody stole your expensive paints or something that you had, or you left them somewhere and you lost it, whatever. A bird, I don't know why, this is just the most chaotic shit that could happen, is like a bird, like a hawk picked up your little parcel of paintbrushes that you had and like took off with it. You're like, what the fuck, man? Like, everything's against me. And it was like, it's like a push to see if you're still committed to your dream. Do you still want it? So instead of, it's a lie, because I didn't look at the card after this. It's a lie to keep you in this depressed energy, which it's, when you're feeling down and low and like, oh, everything's against me, this isn't working out, the roadblock, whatever, it should be easy. It's all just a lie, and it's a test to see if you're still committed. Because truthfully, if it makes you happy, then why are you so sad? Like, you're pursuing your dream. Just because you're not at the end of it and reaching the damn goal, because that you want that, right? You want to commit to that. You want that dream. You want it with your whole essence. Then why are you sad? With this 5 of Cups in reverse, I'm seeing it. It's a lie saying, that you're not happy. You're lying to yourself, because truly what you need to be in love with, not just the goal, the end of the road, the, being famous, whatever you want, the body weight loss, whatever dream you're pursuing right now, you need to fall in love with the process. Yes, if you're in a band or, you got to start somewhere. And some shows you're going to play is you're going to be putting on a poncho. It's going to be raining cold as shit. And you're going to be playing for nobody. Mosquitoes are just going to be outside. Like, that's part of the process. Fall in love with that. And learn from each thing that happens. And be happy. Like, this is, because it's going to give, there's no good story. Like, every story, if only good things happen in it, it's boring. And truly, you're not going to be able to savor it and really appreciate the end of, reaching this goal unless you met overcame all these obstacles, overcame your own self-sabotage, your depression, and turning this losses into success. So if you choose not to alchemize these events, these losses, these what seemingly seems like, oh, why am I getting hit with this? Why, like how it says, I scraped the mold off the bread and serve you French toast again. Yeah, you brand new bread molded or whatever, you bought this expensive like food, but there's a way to turn it into something you can still like deal with. Whatever happened, like the hawk flying off with your paintbrushes, you can still overcome that. It's not the end of the world. And you have to choose to alchemize these little events, because if you just think it's all going to be super easy and you're not going to be tested by the universe being like, do you really want this? Because this is a big goal. This is a big dream. And you have to be super resilient to keep it. This is why you're being tested. And you have to alchemize, because when you're choosing not to, the Temperance in reverse is, not doing the work. It's, you're not balanced. You're not alchemizing things. So it's just one way. And you're just, every little thing is sending you into a spiral. You're not going to be able to handle this big gift then, this big goal. Because then you're going to, say it's weight loss. Yeah, you lose the weight because you manifested it, but then somebody treats you like shit one day and then you go back into eating your feelings. If you're not still pushing and staying diligent through all of this, you're not going to reach this. You're not going to be able to keep your goal. So how are you, turning these obstacles, this journey, and enjoying it now and being like, you know what, this is what I want. I know this will make me happy. Then why the hell are you so sad? Yeah, it's not here yet, but you have to enjoy the process. Because most of what this goal is the journey. It's like, say it's like the weight loss or whatever. It's the journey that you have to fall in love with. And otherwise, it's going to become work, and then you're going to fall off the damn wagon and not ever reach that goal because you're going to get all shitty and being like, excuse me, I'm drinking bubbly water, my bad. You're going to get in a shitty ass attitude because you're tired after work and you don't want to do it. And then you're going to be mad at yourself because you didn't do it. You need to fall in love with it. Whatever it ends up being, you got to fall in love with the process. How hard, yeah, it can be hard. And I'm not ignoring that yes, you're going to be met with roadblocks that are just really going to test you emotionally, physically, whatever. But you have to push through those and fall in love with the process and know that no good story, how do I want to say this? Every good story has like contrast, conflict, roadblocks, because you have to overcome that. Your resilience needs to be tested. Your commitment needs to be tested. And it's not that it's showing you, oh, you shouldn't do this. It's showing you, do you really want it? And, shifting this mindset into, oh, this is part of the process. This is like, video games or whatever. It's not just you like existing out there. There's got to be something you have to overcome. It's boring without contrast. Nothing shifts, nothing changes without contrast or conflict. That is like fuel to get people moving, to get things to shift. Awful things have to happen sometimes. I'm not saying you're going to get hit with awful things, but you're going to be hit with roadblocks and things that are going to test your commitment to this journey. So shifting that mindset of like, okay, I guess I'll go further into this card just because, this temperance, choosing not to alchemize this, choosing to stay on one side and spiraling is going to keep you stuck with this Eight of Swords. It's going to keep you in your own mental prison, and you're never going to reach this goal. There's always going to be something stopping you. Instead, keep the mindset of like, oh, good. I met with a roadblock. That means, it's all a game. Life is a fucking game. It doesn't need to be serious. You don't need to get caught up in the bullshit. All of these little contrasts and things, it might be happening because you need to shift something within yourself or something that you're doing. It's going to show you where there's weak spots, weak links that need to be fixed, mended, changed out, whatever it needs to be, rebuilt. So it's going to show you all of that. It's all just to help you. And you have to switch that mindset of, oh, this is for me. Yes, it fucking sucks. I'm not going to deny that. Yeah, you're like, I just want to reach my goal, man. Like, why can't it be easy? But at the same time, you're going to look back and being like, damn, I made it through all of that bullshit and I met this goal still, no matter what. And it's going to make you appreciate even more getting to reach that. And then you're not going to fuck it up and lose it. Whatever you're trying to gain here. Yes, if you get into that depressed energy, feel it, because you don't want to bottle up your emotions and push them aside. Feel it, but don't wallow in it. Because you gotta pull yourself out, because nothing's going to get done if you just give up. And then you're going to regret it your whole fucking life. You'd be like, I wish I would have done that. I wish I would have done that. So, remind yourself, be like, if I give up now, if I let this roadblock stop me now, I'm going to be regretting this for the rest of my life, because I want this goal so bad. I want this thing so bad. I want to reach that. I want this journey. You got to remind yourself, it's all the fucking like steak and potatoes of, you know, this journey, this goal is the journey. So, you know, if you're not, if you ain't prepared to be, you know, getting there, driving there, you know, like, oh, you know, vacationing, say you're vacationing across the United States, you live in California and you're going to New York, and you decide to drive there. Well, if you don't like driving, if you don't like being in the car and traveling, and you're just gonna be like, oh, I need to get there, you're gonna have a miserable fucking time until you finally get there. And then you're gonna be crabby as shit, tired, pissed off, road raging on people, all this stuff, because you didn't take those little stops to, bro, you're driving across the country. You're coming from point A to point B, which is how fucking long, and you're not taking the little detours and getting to see all of this space in between. You got to look at it like that. Like, okay, you know, people, like, say if you're trying to be famous or you're trying to lose weight, people are going to be like, how did you do it? What is your story? How did this happen? Because I want to be inspired. That these roadblocks and overcoming that, and taking a look at like what, say you had to hit a detour driving across the country, and it took you through this town and you got lost a little bit, but you ended up finding this really great restaurant and people were super nice to you and like you had this great moment. But if you got shitty about it and, you know, like didn't stay open to like going to this restaurant or whatever, and you're just like, I need to get back on the fucking interstate, like you don't get to have these awesome little moments. These detours are sometimes for you, and it's part of this story. So you're going to be able to tell this like, yeah, it was great. It wasn't planned, but it ended up great. Yes, it sucked for a while because I got lost and I was anxious, but then I found this restaurant. I stopped. I asked to use their Wi-Fi, whatever, to get back on to where I was. They gave me directions and I got a free piece of pie because I was lost and anxious and was asking for help. Like, just things like that. Things can, yes, it seems like a bad thing right now, but it just, be curious about it and being like, oh, okay, so what can I learn from this? Oh, this is part of the journey. This is part of my journey. Most High is putting this here for me for a reason, and I need to overcome this. Do I still want this? Can I still keep a good attitude through all the bullshit? Yes, feel the anxious, feel the sadness, whatever you're experiencing, disappointment, but then go through, push through it and then keep going. Being like, okay, all right, I see. Maybe you're meant to meet some person, like say you're in a band and your van that you're probably living in, across the country, like you got a flat tire or something and you just spiral. What am I gonna do? Fucking go change the damn tire, go fucking panhandle if you need to get that money to pay for it, whatever you gotta do. But you're going to meet these amazing people. Hell, the guy changing your tire out in this little shop and wherever you're stuck at might know somebody to be like, oh yeah, my nephew is a manager for a band. Like, how about, maybe you can talk to him or whatever. It's like all these things that might seem like a problem might actually lead you to a solution that you didn't even know you needed. Or to like, it gets to, depending on how you push through this and make shit happen and still keep that, like, I'm going to get through this. I just got to do it. I got to take the leap of faith into this and see what happens and just be open to what happens through that. Like, you might just get to catapult to the next step because you meet the tire guy that knows a manager for a band, and you get to hook up with that. And, if they don't take you under, you can at least get more information and start networking. we're all interconnected, and all of these things are interconnected. It's just a matter of how you choose to take this on. Yeah. So like staying in this cycle with the Wheel of Fortune in reverse keeps you stuck, keeps you in these old, with the devil, keeps you in this like fear. Like, are you going to choose to stay in fear and not turn the wheel? Because the Wheel of Fortune, you know, when it's in reverse, it's like negative, stuck in karmic cycles, just not changing. And same with the devil card, because that's like oppression and being chained to fear, you know, addictions. You might just be addicted to this like victim mentality, whether you know it or not. And that's something you got to look at. Spin the wheel, spin the story to where like, oh, this is happening for me. Okay, I need to look within, get curious, start and discover what the root of this roadblock is, this detour is. What is it? And you're probably gonna find a freaking golden egg in the shit. You know, you might have to, because what the image I got was like, you know, a big old pile of dung, you know, feces, droppings, scat, poop, whatever the fuck, shit. At the bottom of whatever you have to sift through is a golden egg that, you know, if you wash it off, you can go pawn it or like sell it for like, you know, $1 million. Like, it's just a matter of being willing to do the dirty work. As I know that's such an awful example, but you have to roll up your sleeves and do the work. And that's, you know, say you get your flat tire, go call your mom for money or whatever, like you're ask somebody like, hey, can I get a loan? Whatever you need to do to get the tire changed, to go to the guy and tell this person your story, whatever the fuck's happening, and, you know, just, and not like getting embarrassed or upset, you know, just spiraling into this depression. Like, yes, you can feel these emotions, but don't wallow, don't brood in it, because that's gonna delay the process. And then you're suffering just that much more by staying in that energy versus like, all right, this does suck. I am disappointed, but I need to get through. I need to see what is at the root of this. I need to sift through the bullshit, through the feces, through the scat, to find the golden egg of wisdom. Or it could just be you find fucking money. Like, whatever it is, it could be wisdom, anything. It might legit be a little gift from the universe, like a physical gift at the bottom of this shit pile. So shift that mentality, be like, there is something beyond this that I'm not seeing, and I need to stay open to it, and just go into this open and excited. Yes, it's hard when you're disappointed, but you gotta check yourself. Let yourself feel those emotions. Be like, yeah, I'm bummed out. It took the wind out of my sails. I'm feeling a little tired from it, but I know there's something in this beyond what I'm seeing, beyond the surface. I gotta look deeper. There's a lesson or something I need to learn or gain or exercise in this. And by doing so, we have the Six of Staffs. So that's the Six of Wands. Doing so, you're going to gain more confidence by you know, you always feel good once you solve a problem. Like, say you're doing a puzzle. You feel fucking like so satisfied once you do it, right? Once you finish it, you're like, yeah, I did that. Cool. Like, that was like, you know, a 2,000 piece puzzle and I did it. Like, it just feels good. Or, you know, whatever, like you solve a problem. That's why there's games. That's why there's like crossword puzzles. There's video games, all of this. It feels, once you get past the stress or that point of like trying to figure it out and like working your brain and all this stuff, once you get past that, there's that like endorphin rush, that feel good confidence, that like victory, which this card is victory, that win feels good. You're like, yeah, I did it. I was getting pissed off and almost threw it in the trash, but I finished it. Like, it feels good to solve these problems and get through it. It's just, you have to remind yourself that, like, it's gonna feel so good to have victory over this. And then that's gonna give you more confidence when you meet more resistance, more contrast, more problems, whatever, roadblocks, things that slow you down. You're gonna feel better and more confident to meet these. Be like, all right, bring it on. I've done it before, bitch. Let's go. And you got to remind yourself to keep that mentality when those things happen, because it's really easy to spiral and being like, should I just not do this? Like, why does it have to be so hard? Like, feel into that, but like, don't stay there. And we have the Three of Cups. So like, and that's like, celebration. Like, you're going to feel so good when you finally like overcome these roadblocks and anything. And keep that mentality of like, when you're in the thick of it, that I'm going to be celebrating when I get through this. And this is also community. So like, being able to reach out to people that could help you, whatever, you don't have to bear the burden by yourself. If that could be like praying, or calling upon, say if you're in a band, like the other bandmates, like, and then if these people don't show up for you, then they weren't meant to go on this journey with you, and that's like a blessing in disguise. And you say that's like another roadblock you hit, that's perfect, because they weren't meant to go along with you, and you were shown exactly who they were and that they weren't good for you, and they were actually holding you back from this. And it's one of those things that's going to catapult you to the next step, is by, letting this person off. Be like, dude, you're kicked out of the band. You're an asshole. And by finding out all of this stuff and celebrating, you'll be graced with, happiness, your true community with this Ten of Cups here. That's where you find out who your friends are. Somebody's gonna take everything, blah, blah, blah. What's that song? It's by Tracy Lawrence. He's my guy. He's a badass. Yes. But yeah, Find Out Who Your Friends Are by Tracy Lawrence. Run your car off the side of the road, get stuck in a ditch way out in the middle of nowhere. Get yourself in a bind, lose the shirt off your back. Like I said, you're freaking having a panhandle just to get a new tire on your van. Whatever. Need a floor, need a couch, need a bus fare. This is where the rubber meets the road. This is where the cream is gonna rise. This is what you really didn't know. This is where the truth don't lie. Ooh, goosebumps, baby. All over my body. So that, exactly. If you will find out who your friends are through this journey, and that's another thing. This is a warning of like, if these people weren't here before your big win, say you're like trying to get like a shit ton of money for your new business that you're starting, and if they didn't help you out, remember that. Because as soon as you get your money, your fame, whatever you got coming on, say you're in the weight loss journey and like somebody didn't find you attractive and they didn't want to date you, and then all of a sudden like, damn, you got hot, like, fuck you. No. You don't get my win. You don't get to enjoy the win since you weren't there before this. You didn't see my potential. So remember that, because all these people will be coming out of the woodworks as soon as you have, the good stuff. They're like, damn, all right, what's up? Let me get a little taste of that. Let me get a little taste. This is where you find out who your friends are. And if you say you are in a bind and you can't depend on this person, you need to remember that, and you needed to know that, because that was holding you back from this blessing. Most High wasn't going to allow this person in your spirit team, whatever universe, wasn't going to allow you to get this win, this manifestation, until this person was out of there, because they didn't have your best interest in mind. You find out who your friends are. Somebody's gonna drop everything, run out and crank up their car, hit the gas, get there fast, never stop to think what's in it for me. Or it's way too far. They just show on up with their big old heart. You'll find out who your friends are. Everybody wants to slap your back, wants to shake your hand when you're up on the top of that mountain. But let one of those rocks give way, then you slide back down, look up and see who's around. So this might be, you know, yes, and this is telling me that you are definitely, goosebumps. You are definitely going to meet this goal because you're going to be able to push through all of this. And then you'll be with your true family, the people that stuck through. And I'm just saying family, that's like, it doesn't actually have to be family, friends, whatever. I'm just, the 10 of Cups is like the family card, but it could be the people you choose, your chosen family, whatever. These people that had your back and believed in you this whole time. Or, you know, the people that you met on the way, like the tire guy, you know, maybe he just ends up being your biggest fan, like whatever. So this is where you're going to find out who's got your back, who wants to see you succeed, who wants to truly help you, and you're going to be surrounded by them. And don't let these other freaking weirdos that, you know, only liked you when you had good things going for you, come back around, spin the block, just because you're finally where you said you were going to be. They didn't want, and that's just like a reminder of like, you know, telling the story, like, yeah, it's a journey. And if these people can't hang while you're in the journey, they don't get to see you and be around you when you're at the top, and you're going to win this. This ain't where the rubber comes to an end. This ain't where the road comes to an end. This ain't where the bandwagon stops. This is just one of those times a lot of folks jump off. Yeah, because it gets too tough. But this Hierophant here, this is a lesson. You need to learn and digest this information. Like, you know, it's not your fault. It's not theirs. They didn't have the resilience you have, or these other people. They may have been jealous the whole time, or like wanted to see you fall. And you needed to know this. This needed to be known, learned. Just like with these lessons, these roadblocks that you're getting hit with, this needed to be learned. You needed to gain resilience, knowledge, these gifts, all from this. You'll find out who your friends are. When the water's high, when the weather's not so fair, when the well runs dry, who's gonna be there? You'll find out who your friends are. Somebody's gonna drop everything, run out and crank up their car, hit the gas, and get there fast, never stop to think what's in it for me, or it's way too far. They just show on up with their big old heart. You find out who your friends are. So I'm getting here, like, and it's just making me, the proverbial tire guy that I just keep referring to. Like, he might be in this city, state you have never been in or planned on ever coming back to, and he ends up being like such a huge part of your journey, and he didn't have any other plan. You know, he's like, you're fucking paying me to change a tire, like I'm just bullshitting with you, like, oh yeah, my nephew's like a manager, what you want to get his number, fuck it, like I may never see your ass again, I know you're from across the states, or you know, whatever the fuck, across the country, like I have no sweat off my balls here, I'm just like, fuck it, I've got no skin in the game, like just here you go, good luck. Like there was no like, yeah, what's in it for me, how can I get you know, whatever off of this. They were just being friendly and like listening to your story, and it ends up being this huge part of your journey and success. So being open to that, and being open, like, okay, you're met with this betrayal, let's say, with the friends thing, with the 3 of Cups. You're met with this betrayal of friends, but you needed to learn and heal and understand that, yeah, this person hasn't had my good intentions this whole time. I needed to know this. And I learned the lesson from it, that they're not the family, they're not my forever home type of thing. They're not going to be there until I get the success, and I don't want them there when I have my success, because they're just a fair weather friend. They're just a fair weather person in my life. And I don't want to be surrounded by that, because I'm a ride or die. Sorry, my throat is so jacked. I was completely fine until I started recording. Here we are with the truth, baby. And so like, this is probably, and also these things might be happening because there's some wounding that needs to be healed with this Three of Swords in reverse. So the betrayal of the friend, whatever you end up finding, not being there, not being able to help you. It could be your parents. Like, whatever. They don't have your back. They find out they've been like bashing you like at the family gatherings, church, whatever. And you're just like, oh, like there was a wound here that needed to be looked at and healed so you can get to this success. Because if you have this weakness, this wounding that you operate out of, that's gonna cause issues when you reach that success, your goal, whatever. It's gonna cause issues and may cause you to lose it, or, you know, not be able to handle the responsibility of it. All of that, there's a reason for it. And that you look at it as like, this is showing me where I need to heal. Yes, I need to feel this stuff. I need to let this go. I need to do the work. And we do have the Hanged Man in reverse at the bottom of this deck as well. And I'm seeing that because when I said do the work, I looked at this card. So that's getting, you know, out of this like frozen state, not doing anything and just observing. And this is like making moves, big moves towards this healing that needs to happen from these things that occur. And, you know, these roadblocks are like, it's like meant for as motivation. I'm seeing like, once you get past it and get that, like that victory with that, Six of Wands, once you get that victory, that's meant to like give you that momentum. Like, I could do anything. I am invincible. Yes. Yes. Like, it's supposed to get you off your ass and like get you even more juiced up, if you will. Yeah. And we have the, fuck yeah, 10 of Wands. So to do the work, to do that heavy lifting, heavy stuff, carry that burden to get to your goal. Because that is, and that's going to bring this Ace of Pentacles, that new venture, you know, the opportunities, the willingness to do the work, change your mindset. That's going to bring these opportunities, and like coming into this with curiosity and work past with this Three of Swords upright. Work past this stuff. Use the betrayals, the hurt, all of that as fuel. And, you know, like rejection is protection. I know it's so hard to take it that way, especially when you're in the thick of it, but it is Most High taking the trash out, if you will. Because, you know, if you keep holding on to that trash, it's going to start sinking, and then nobody's going to want to be around you. You know, like no one's going to, if you smell like, you know, cat pee or something, no one's going to want to like, hey, do you want to come be a sales rep for my company? You know what I'm saying? Like, I know it's like such a harsh, like, analogy, but like, you know, you got to be smelling good, looking good, feeling good, all of these things to get to this. You got to push through this. And I'm getting like, so if you're like in that depressed state where you don't want to like take care of your looks and all of that, like brush your teeth, comb your hair, go get a fucking haircut, go to the gym, whatever you need to do to take care of yourself, smell good, wash your clothes, that type of stuff, that's going to stop you from getting, you know, to your goal, because you're like wallowing in your own filth and your own like depression, these emotions, and that's why you're stuck. And that's where the enemy, the powers that were, wants you, so you don't reach this success. So catch yourself when you're in that, so you don't fall into it for a long period of time. You can just start pushing out of it. Use it as motivation, like, oh, I quit taking care of myself like I was. What do I need to do to get out of this? And seeing it as like, okay, this is part of the journey. And when I'm successful, when I get to this goal, I can tell people like, you can do it too. I made it through this shitty, awful time where I was like at my worst, at my lowest. Like, I didn't clean my house, you know, whatever. I didn't leave the house. I just stayed in bed in my crusty sheets. Like, I wasn't taking care of myself, and I needed to power through this. And I came out of it. And this is how I did it. I started cleaning up. I went and took a shower, brushed my teeth, went outside, and I went and started talking to people. Even though I felt little confidence, I powered through that fear and came out victorious with that Six of Wands. I came out, made a win, confident, because I pushed through that discomfort. All right, that's kind of weird, but like the energy's kind of just tapered off there. I do have at the bottom of this deck, be patient. So that's telling me, yes, this journey needs to happen. It's the journey. So be patient with the journey. It's all part of the process, baby. Yes, you're not right there at your goal, but you need to go through all of these milestones, all of this roadblock, all this shit to be your best, to be the best, to have this the way it needs to be, this success the way it needs to happen. It's all part of the process, and you got to trust in the Most High, the universe, your spirit team, whatever, that this is just part of it. This has to happen. Anything else from this deck here? And then I'll say goodbye. So we have let two become one. So there may be some fears in regards to, you know, your connections, like say past relationships, stuff like that. There's some confidence issues that need to be healed in regards to that. People that didn't have your greatest intentions, so they like tried to make you feel insecure, anxious, you know, they try to just tear you down at every possibility. There's some healing that needs to be done in regards to that. And we have know your fears in reverse. So that's telling me go within and you got to start looking for that shit. So when you're met with these roadblocks, that's why it's happening, because it's showing you where your fears are. It's showing you where your weaknesses are, where the weak link is, and it needs to be mended. And you got to problem solve, you know, do your little search, your little investigation to find out what that is and release it and face it. All right, babies, keep it up. Keep on this journey. You are going to be so freaking successful beyond what you can even imagine. I'm so proud of you. I love you and have a great day.